Hello, Mouse here again. We're on the second instalment of removing the rust from the Sidecar chassis using soda crystals and electrolysis and a DC welder. It took quite a while to fill with water, and as you can see now, it's gone completely dark. So what I've done is I've attached a torch to the camera, and we're going to go out and I can explain the procedure as it stands at the moment. Well, this is the bath completely full of water and soda crystals. I used 5 bags, so that's 5 kilos. I brought out all the bits of equipment and I'll talk through it now. What we have here is a power supply, which is in the form of a DC arc welder. You can't use a standard arc welder because you need a polarity on the electrode, so it has to be a DC one. I've welded a piece of bar onto a bare steel rim car wheel, and that's to bring the electrode up out of the solution so I don't destroy my earth clamp with the electrolysis process. I've also welded a tang onto the sidecar itself just to bring it out of the water and to make a good non-rusty connection so I can get a bit of current flow through it. I've got my DC welder on just below 40 amps, but that doesn't mean a lot because well, we're not welding, are we? I've got a digital clamp meter here, which if I can get it not to glare, is giving us 13 and a bit amps. I just flicker around a bit so you won't say it's 13.1, and also a voltmeter showing that we're on 40 volts. I mean, the reason I haven't put the dial right up to maximum because firstly we don't get any extra current or voltage, so I've left that at the minimum setting for maximum effect. The polarity is important, and it's marked on the welder here, and we've got the negative electrode here connected to the actual chassis that we want to clean up, and the positive coming up round to the sacrificial electrode here connected to a bare steel wheel rim that's sitting at the bottom, hopefully in the centre of the chassis. I turned this on about 10 minutes ago and set it all up, and I brought my little calculator out, and what I've done is use the power, if I can get it not to glare, there we are, 520, which is 520 watts of power going into it, so you can work out what the electricity is going to be, what the electricity bill is going to be in a moment. It's quite interesting because we've got a fair amount of activity on the sacrificial side with bubbles rising up, and I don't know if it's showing, oh yes, we can see there bubbles and a bit of surface activity on the actual sidecar itself, which I'm quite pleased at. There's less so, I mean, I know it's at the bottom here, but there's less at the ends. Probably something to do with the fact that we're further away from the central positive electrode, so I might sort something out a bit later on there just to try and even things up a bit. Yes, yeah, there's also, even though it's been on about 10-15 minutes, there's quite a lot of gack and snotty looking bits floating around on the top. I think some of it might be seaweed, but some of it's definitely looking a bit rust-like. So there we have it. DC arc welder, 2 electrodes in a bath containing 5 kilos of soda crystals, drawing what, half a kilowatt. So we're going to leave that till the morning and see what the effect is then, and maybe switch it off or leave it on for another day or two until the rust has dispersed. Try then.